LED tape light can be great for countertops, even for ambient lighting. The one issue can be the actual look of the LED lamps. When visible, the light is harsh, glaring, and unattractive. In today's video, we're looking at the Feit Electric LED seamless tape light with remote. In the kit, you get 16 feet of seamless tape light that's rated at 2950 lumens. It has a color temperature of 3000 for a bright white. You get a remote control. You get mounting clips. You get corner adapters. And of course, the power supply driver is included. The unit can be plugged directly into a wall receptacle, or it can be hardwired, because the power supply has ends that come off and you can rewire with any cable on both sides, making it very versatile when installing through cabinets. In this video, this LED light panel puts out a lot of light, but in this sewing room, we still want additional light for the work area. So I'm considering running the tape light underneath this cabinet, up and about, over the mirror, down the mirror, underneath that cabinet. And if I have some tape left, I'm going to go on the back side of that cabinet to shine some light on that wall. And then we'll use that receptacle there for power. Here's a quick look at what the actual tape LED looks like. As you see, there is no glare. It's just one continuous looking strip of white light. Tools you might need for this project: flashlight, 1/4-inch bit, a 0 Phillips screwdriver, a number 1 Phillips screwdriver, a number 2 Phillips screwdriver, wire strippers, diagonal cutters, pair of scissors, a Sharpie, and of course, a power drill. Because one end of the LED tape has a connector on it, we're going to have to lace the LED tape from our end point over on this side of the cabinet, run it around, over the mirror, down towards our end point, which is where the narrow end of the tape will finish. So that way we only have to accommodate for this at one point. I'm using some painter's tape to do a dry run of how things are going to get wired up. And though it doesn't look perfect right now, it will when I'm finished. But this gives me an idea of how far I can go with the wire. I do want to do something back here where the light will be able to shine on this back wall here. So this gives me an approximation of how much tape light I will need. Right now it looks like I'll be using all 16 feet. Using the blue tape, I took a measurement from the other side, so I know that right here is the bottom of the cabinet, so I can only drill below that space. I want to be close to the edge of the mirror, but I don't want to be so close that I end up cracking or damaging the mirror. So I'm going to go in at a slight angle, because it doesn't matter with the tape. And we will be able to run our tape through that opening. And that's a 1/4-inch hole. Now we'll continue drilling the other holes, and then we'll thread the tape through them. One of the advantages of lacing everything from the powered end is that you quickly know where this adapter is going to go underneath, and thus you know how much of a lead you need off the power supply, which is a bit long with this cable. So I'm going to cut this cable, and to reattach it, you simply remove the 2 screws that hold this cover in place. And then what I did is I put a B and an R, because it's very important that you don't mix up the polarity when it comes to LED tapes. And so once I cut this, I'll be able to make a new connection, being mindful of black and red. On the other side, there's also another cap that can be removed, so I can shorten the power cable, since my run is just a few inches to the underside of the cabinet. When shortening the cable on the 110 side, I put an R for the rib side of the cable so I can maintain polarity. After I shorten the cables, and you may not have to, I mounted the power supply. There's a screw opening on one side, and then on the opposite corner over here, there's another screw. I had to use shorter screws because this wood is not as thick as the screws they provided. But once you're done with that, then you can put the caps back on, put in the 2 screws on both sides, and then you're secure there, and you can continue lacing the LED tape. With the power supply secured underneath the cabinet, I secure one of the cables, and I'm testing the LED tape light to make sure that it's working. It's giving me plenty of light into this corner. Make sure you don't do any tight 90-degree turns. This one will be turned around when I come around here, so we'll actually see more light. But I'm making sure that I have enough light to come all the way to the end of the cabinet. So now I can start peeling back the adhesive strip on here and sticking it to the underside of the cabinet. So the idea is to shine light down. When I get to the mirror, light will be shining this way. On the top, it'll be shining up, down, and of course on the back side of the cabinet, out that way. Now it's time to peel back the adhesive protective strip. Fishing the tape through all the little holes and around all the obstacles wasn't that bad. The 3M tape holds really well, but now it's time to take a look and see what this really looks like. And it is nice and bright. With the remote control, one can dim, brighten. There's even a timer for 1 hour, 6 hours. You can always just go high, medium, low, all at your fingertips. With the overhead light switched off, we can see the amount of light that's coming off the tapes. With almost 3,000 lumens, it's plenty to light not only the work area, but the surrounding area, making the overhead light really unnecessary. And when you're even looking directly at the light, it is non-glare. It is almost no shadow. Very diffused light, so it makes it easy to work with, especially if you're sewing stuff and you're working underneath a sewing machine. The tape light gives us the flexibility to aim the light up, sideways, or down, all without making any cuts into the tape itself. About my only critique would be with the thickness of the power supply. If it would have been a little thinner, it would have been nicer, but still, I love the flexibility of being able to cut off either side of the cable and reattach it without splicing or soldering. We were able to utilize the entire 16 feet of tape light without any breaks in one continuous run, and with no LED hotspots, no glares, just a great soft diffused light. Do note, with the power off, the LED tape is yellow in color. If you found this video interesting or useful, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, join the subscription team, and as always, thank you ever so much for watching.